It's D-Day for the flag. The Prime Minister, John Key, says he's confident we'll know later tonight if New Zealand's want a new flag. Well, it's absolutely going to happen. We will know later tonight. The second referendum, where voters must choose between the current flag and the alternative blue and black Carl Lockwood design with the silver fern, closes at 7 o'clock tonight with preliminary results due around 8:30. John Key says he won't be disappointed if the flag isn't changed because the process has got people talking.
We're the only country in the world that's ever asked their citizens whether they want to change the flag. Every other country's just got up and said, here's your new flag. That includes Canada. That's what Frank Bainimarama's doing in Fiji. That's always been the process. And notoriously, it's difficult to win referendums. So, you know, Winston Peters in today's dollars spent exactly the same as what was spending on the current referendum on compulsory super, and he lost 92% to 8. We've had 2 referendums on extending the term of our parliament, both of them lost. So they're difficult to win, but you know, I just think this is one of those ones we just don't know. Let's wait and see.
If you had your days over again, would you have done what you've done?
Yeah, I would. Because, you know, in the end, actually it's my job as Prime Minister, I think, to lead the debate in a variety of different areas. And I think it's important that we as a country just think a little bit about how we see ourselves being represented on the world stage. And actually, I think there's been at least awakening to the principle, an awakening to the principle that we actually don't use our current flag in the way that other countries use their flag. And as a result of all this, if the flag stays the same and we as New Zealanders fly it more, use it more, use it as the way to demonstrate we're proud Kiwis, then that's been success.
The Prime Minister, who incidentally, if you're listening rather than watching, was wearing the Carl Lockwood silver fern flag on his lapel as he was talking today. It may be the last day he does that, unless I guess he wants to continue afterwards. The Prime Minister was asked if more people now support a change of flag, but just not that alternative design he wears on his lapel. He says the fact more than 2 million people have voted in the referendum is a good sign for change.
I just feel happy that we're having that debate. I feel happy that there's a lot more flags flying, and I feel happy about the fact that people have at least given the process some thought and they've engaged. I mean, if nobody had come out and voted, then you'd say it's been a failure. But over 2 million people are voting, and that's an awful lot of people to get out in a postal referendum. Put it this way, more people are filling out or have filled out their referendum forms as a percentage of the population than will probably go to the polls and vote for the next President of the United States of America. That tells you that we've been successful, at least at one form.
The Prime Minister, who leaves New Zealand tonight for a holiday ahead of the Nuclear Security Summit, which is in Washington next week. And in fact, he did say he would stop wearing his alternative Lockwood flag pin if the referendum result went in favour of retaining the current flag. RNZ, through all sorts of means, will be able to tell you the result later this evening, including on social media, of course, and on news bulletins throughout the night. We conducted our own survey of the 121 MPs in Parliament to find out what flag they voted for. Of the 121 MPs, 117 of them responded. 57 have voted for change. That's the Lockwood silver fern flag, 57 of the 117. 54 want to keep the current flag. So basically that's an even split. The remaining 6 who responded declined to tell us which way they're voting or said they decided not to vote at all. So 57-54 in favour of change. All New Zealand First MPs have voted to keep the current flag. The majority of national MPs are voting for change except Judith Collins, Paul Foster-Bell, Brett Hudson, Simon O'Connor and Jamie Lee Ross, who voted to keep the current flag. Across the Labour Party, only former leader David Shearer publicly supports the Lockwood flag, and the Green Party votes are split with Catherine Delahunty not voting at all. Full results, in case you're interested in what your MP opted, are on the RNZ website.